Hi, Cancer. This is your Leo season reading, August 2024 reading. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as the extended version of this reading, which will be in the first link below. Please check that out. The link will specifically be for the Cancer reading. Website is coming out this week. Easier contact. Have any questions about the services that I do, don't hesitate to connect with me. Thank you for those of you who have been here, and for those of you who are new, welcome. This is your tarot season. This is your tarot reading for the month ahead. Leo season, inner child season, enjoyment season, creation season. You're maybe wanting to sharpen some skills or to even enhance them by specifically doing something that you really enjoy just for you. It doesn't have to be a business adventure, right? Because we're really loving doing that right now, which is really important, you know, to create business for yourself. And it's like people like me who have been in the service industry will always say, like, everyone needs to learn what it's like to be in that industry, to deal with people, to see how people treat people like that, positive and negative, right? To create your experience. And also, I think everyone needs to, in some way, have these business like that's a business relationship. That's why I say that, because you could also, you know, do your own thing. It's no longer just an idea, right? Any idea that you've had, it's kind of like today, how today is going for me. I tried doing this. I attempted this a few times, successfully once, but there was just something else that was missing. And so I sat down and I decided to very intentionally meditate first. And that's usually I'll do something in that way, but I didn't do that before. So I did something different. And this is what I'm saying is, like, don't just give up on those ideas. Don't just like let them go and throw them away. But if they're not literally present, what you're looking to do presently, forgive me, it's Mercury retrograde. Okay, I'll have to re-explain myself maybe. Do my best, and that's all you can do. What you're seeing is that maybe letting go of course, the attachment to these ideas, and realizing that whatever comes back, you know, whatever really does come back is what you may be meant to do, what is maybe meant to be pursued. This may be also a time where, like, it's not for just healing, and healing is always important, but we don't want to put too much expectation on doing something for healing, especially when money's involved. So if you're doing something without money being involved and you're just enjoying the process, continue, because it may turn into something that you realize is much bigger than you. And it also may turn into you, because this is like a whole new, this is just a new side of you, a change. This is different. And what you're building off of Leo season is this momentum where you are capable, and you know you're capable first and foremost, of course, but you're so capable right now and so ready to utilize this potential, this energy that you have at this time to move away, move beyond any limitations. Now, what comes up for you when that happens, right? How will the dynamics in your life shift? How will your relationship shift? How will your relationship with being clear, honest, or yourself shift? It's funny because I was just listening to something, and I could say this there's quite a few things I could say this about, but what came to my mind was during this conversation I heard, and it was about politics, and I won't get into that part because that's not the point. But at this point, let's be honest, and you're seeing things very clearly right now, right? And if, for the sake of the honesty and the clarity, we really are just choosing who we like to lie to us better. Which way do you want to be manipulated? By this person or by this person? Because no matter what, that's what the fuck is happening, right? To an extent, there's manipulation going on everywhere. Someone even say, you're manipulating because you are who you are. Right, but then when you really discover who you are, Is it manipulating, or is it just life working with you and for you? And that's what I think you're seeing, is that's a part of what makes you very unique and your magic is that when you do that and you get out of your way of being something or whatever, because you know if you're meant to be it or not, especially if you feel a resistance when certain things come up, or ideas, or a vision comes up in your life, whatever emotion comes up, there isn't, and especially if an emotion comes up, there's an attachment there. And what's happening this month, it's becoming very clear to you, or it's getting clear through experience, you know, what you want maybe in someone, what you want, how you want to share life with someone, what expectations you may want to have, whether it's with friendships, even more so, you know, which are just and can be just as intimate, if not more at times, than romantic relationships, your business partnerships. So whatever dynamics are closest to you, they're all being interpreted in a different way, or in all different levels, right? So whoever you are, and whatever the integrity that you hold yourself with your closest people, extends out to other people. But then at times, right, that, you know, very nice lie that we can tell because of the way it looks. And at this time, it's more about, you know, Venus and Virgo, there's perfection everywhere. But right now, for you, it can't be perfect, but it will come out perfectly. You can't think about it being perfect. You have what you're great at is thinking about or pursuing something because it's what you're meant to pursue, regardless of what it looks like. If you're looking for perfection, we're never going to find it. No one has found it. You can have the idea of it and find it, but no one can hold up to that. No one can hold up to this idea someone else has of them, unless there's deep manipulation going on, and even further abuse, and even further, you know, and the list goes on. This is you 9 to 9 being very clear about a few things in your life. When we start to intend, or we decide we want something, or we're ready for something, whether that be a relationship, a job, money, what could happen sometimes is then life presents a series of tests. In many spiritual practices, this is what it's called, manifestation, this is what it's called, which I would also call, depending on what it is a spiritual practice. And what can become really important at this time is who you receive information from and who you're attracted to. So if you're looking for a partnership, which it looks like you may be here, the alchemization comes when these people show up, and you show up with these people, is knowing that you have the choice, you have the control, you have the understanding. And if you're afraid of being yourself, or speaking up for yourself, or saying how you feel with any of these people, and it's that difficult, and that's what you're used to in romantic situations, or, you know, any relation, put in any realm, like, where is it that this is uncomfortable for you? If that's still uncomfortable here with this person, chances are, if you don't feel comfortable enough, or you can't get to a point with these people that show up and present to you, or into you, or really like you, or think you're so beautiful, or think you're so great, and blah, blah, blah. If they can't give you the space, or you don't feel the pull to explain certain things about yourself, or are able to be honest in the way that you're presenting yourself now, it's very clear that you're now alchemizing a process of learning to say no to what used to be what used to be a yes. And sometimes it's very obvious in that way. Other times, because you may be tested a couple times. You know, there may be a couple people, or the same person, who wants to make you think that your choice is wrong. But why would you ever want to start out a relationship like that? It has to be up to you. It has to be your free will. You know, you're listening to me, you listen to astrology, whatever else you listen to, you still have free will. You always have free will. And if someone or a reader, anyone in your life makes you feel like you don't, it's untrue. And I think that's one thing that you go back and forth about, all depending on what it is that you're after. You're the only sign I feel like is kind of fluid with that, which is interesting. But I think it's because what you're seeing now is that it's not just about whatever it is that you're desiring from or the outcome that you're looking for. It's really the fulfillment of it all. It's the moving beyond what it looks like and what it had looked like or what it was. It's about the foundation it's setting off on, and you can't set off this way just with anyone. So life is presenting you a series of moments to move through this time, especially if you're looking for more, building a family or creating more wealth or wanting to harness skill, wanting more, or you're looking for more resources, you're opening up even more. Then of course life, Leo season's like, yeah. And you may be shown that and given that. At the end of the month, you'll gain a lot of clarity because you've chosen what you've decided to choose. And you've decided to change. Now, this Tower moment comes in and it's happening regardless. So even if I pulled that before, this is still happening regardless. Regardless of you changing with life, this is still happening. So you would still have to go through something, because what you notice about how you say things is maybe becoming even more important to becoming more aligned. Because at times when you may have noticed that people don't add up to what they say, or they say things and it just doesn't make sense, or it seems off, there are times where we have to take a look at ourselves and wonder, like, do I also do that? And like, which way would I rather lie to someone? Because you may have to do that. There will be some people who don't understand this change. You're just coming up against opportunities to shift and move beyond any limitation you have set for yourself at this time, presently. Because of course, there will be more limitations as long as you're human. That's like the whole thing. And then, or there'll not just limitations, maybe tests, right? Whatever it is. A lot of cards just came out. I am gonna be honest, I'm putting them back in. That's what you say, like, with the ideas. You put them back in, you're like, okay, give me, what's the clarity? What's the one I need? What's the couple that I need? What do I need to know about these ideas, right? You get even clearer about what you're looking for and what you're intending. And it doesn't have to be, like, literally specific, but the more specific you can get sometimes, depending on how you manifest or how you bring things to life, you can now speak to that. Maybe these people or opportunities for jobs or money, whatever it is, are just showing you where you've limited yourself or where you've put a stop to putting energy into yourself. And now you realize that these people, maybe when are you meeting them? When you finally decide that you want to put the energy into yourself? So maybe you need to say no and wait a few more days or a few more months. Or can you explain that with knowing and without withholding, and just say, this is where I'm at right now. So if you're looking for anything more right now than this, then I may not be for you. And be empowered by it and stand behind it, and if someone's willing to test that, okay, but maybe they don't know where that line is. You have to create the lines around that. You need to say, when they say ... what that looks like for you. A lot of cards just keep falling out. All right, we're gonna get more into the second part, because what's changing is the direction of your energy, the flow in which you're going in. And you're really clearing up a lot. There's energy in which there right now is a time where things are really condensed. And I was reminded by this. And when it feels heavy and condensed, it's also usually a time of great power. And when you can be more true to yourself, more honest with yourself about what your needs are now, this and trust that the universe can only provide even better for you as you move forward, and you're honest with yourself, it'll only move that much faster. It'll only be that much quicker. And then you're learning to trust not only your judgment, right? This judgment card comes out, and whatever your lack of judgment has been, what's ever led you or fed you to believe something to be true other than your own decision upon those beliefs, right? This is a time where you're feeling fresh and new, and anything that, just at the same time, where if you choose to go against your own flow, which you're not, doesn't look like you are here, if you're choosing to go against your flow, which could be things coming up, is that it may just take that much longer, or it feels longer. Because the way it was explained, and I really like it, so I'm going to relay it, and it was by someone named Jenna Zoe. I love her, the way she explains energy. And it's like those times during the day where things seem, what's so different about one day feeling like it's going by so fast and another day it's not? It's not really a conscious thing. It's something that's just a feeling, right, that's happening. When you're in moments that feel like they expand time, then all of a sudden it's 4 or 5 hours later. And then you're reflecting on these memories or things that go by. I feel like life just happened so fast. You may be becoming so much more aware of that. And you've been given the opportunity to understand why maybe you've only gone for a certain kind, or you've been attracted to certain kinds of people, certain places, certain jobs. Not that you're not great at them, but there's something about what's clearing up for you in the future and making you realize that what's out there for you is much more directly for you and your purpose. You're being connected as you go forward and have the faith like you normally do. This is just a very more conscious moment where you're creating and consciously being intentional, where you're not just going into it. You're just like, there's just a shift in your energy where you're just being so aware, and it's not just out of practice or devotion or discipline. It's just about how you're wanting to choose to be, and you're seeing, and things are being revealed to you along the way that you need to keep the momentum going, because you may feel very clear to make a risk for the long term. A risk for this part of you that knows you will be seen differently, or who you are is differently. Because for some of you, you're wrapping something out and you're gonna produce yourself. You're gonna announce yourself to the world, even if that just means the people in your life as someone different, or you've learned something different, or you're doing something new. This is overcoming a lot. And you already have. This is just kind of the physical part. Internally, you're there, but now it's connecting externally to your life. And you will maybe want to take some time alone. And that's where you go and understand that you've given this to yourself, but only to a certain extent. And what I mean by that is when you give it to yourself, but you don't really give it to yourself. You give it to yourself, but then you distract yourself, or you're doing something else, or you're just creating distraction. And once you settle down from that, maybe you give yourself it first, then you're like, okay, this just isn't working. And all of a sudden, in the process of understanding like why, maybe you've reached a certain level in your life and you're like, what's going on? Like, why am I plateauing? Then there's a deep belief of something that you're finally surrendering to and opening to, in your mind, in your throat. There's something shifting in the upper areas of your life where you may want to be very vocal about what's given to you. You may even find yourself volunteering, or really tapping into the spiritual side in a very physical way, and you're able to provide a space for people, or you as a person provides that space for people as you meet people. Not that I'm projecting that you're going to be doing this for people, but as yourself, how you show up in relationship is going to look different. You may see a change in the people in your life, right? You may have to do the hard thing and not maybe run away from the conversation, but have the conversation of like, you've changed. You may have to communicate that. So you spend some of the course of the month going over what that looks like, maybe contemplating, relaxing into yourself, feeling this person that you are, going on walks with yourself, talking, whatever it is. Because this identity shift is now going into the parts of your life, that relate to money, that relate to what validates you, what, gives you the security that you need to take the risks that you do. Again, you're in such a conscious partnership. And I fucking love this energy. I didn't know why I did you last, but I realized it's because this is a very positive reading. Not that others aren't, and not that they are all positive or negative is bad. It's just that this is very powerful for you, Cancer, and it's powerful for your movements forward. You may need to relax or stretch your feet. You may find some relief in your feet this month too. But something about being honest with your inner child, your heart, something that's on your mind, the way that you want to be supported in this life is changing, and it's because you're being honest with yourself. It doesn't matter about anyone else. It matters what you want for you. What's best for you. We love it. And we'll see you in the next part. The link is below.